Sorry to interrupt, everyone. We finally have some real dream experts joining us. Esteemed experts, this way, please. Ahem. Now, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them.
They must be dream experts from another land. Great!
Oh, I have a question. Me first! Me first!
No rush. Everyone, please line up and ask.
Whoa. Paimon didn't expect them to be so enthusiastic.
My question is simple. My everyday life is very difficult, so I would like to become a slime in my dreams. How can I do that?
Oh, Paimon knows! Paimon's had this kind of dream before, so she knows a thing or two. The first time, Paimon became an animal slime. Paimon was shot by an adventurer's arrow and flew in the sky all night long. The second time, Paimon became a dendro slime. The third time, Paimon became a cryo slime. And the fourth time, Paimon became a powerful geo. But then the boar showed up with all of its relatives.
Wait, why did all of your dreams end so tragically?
Because slimes are monsters, even though they look cute, things don't tend to end well for monsters. Believe Paimon.
I suppose you're right. They are monsters. I just want to experience a different life, but it seems that becoming a monster... Maybe I'd be happier if I became just a regular...
Looks like being an expert is way easier than Paimon. Next!
Oh, it's my turn. Esteemed expert. I want...
Well? Hey, you're supposed to be helping. First, why don't you tell Paimon?
Oh, it's quite ordinary. I sat and chatted with my wife on a sunny day, listening to the breeze.
Why don't you just find your wife and talk with her? There's no need to wait for a dream.
Well, unfortunately...
Oh! Sorry.
No, it's fine. I didn't make that clear. I just want a chance to see her again.
Yeah, it's not really about posture. What you think about right before falling asleep is probably way more important.
Oh, is that all I have to do?
Think about it. If you're the one thinking about her, and you're the one that'll be dreaming about her, then it'll be...
You do have a point. I'll give it a try tonight.
Oh, my turn, my turn. I want to know that
I want to bring the souvenir box to my room into my dream.
I dreamt of a raven flying over the wasteland last night.
Hey, no rush! One at a time! Their questions were way too difficult. We don't actually know anything more than they do. We're just more experienced dreamers, that's all. You do have a point. It's more rewarding to explore and contemplate them. Right now, these people are like wanderers who've starved for 3 days and 3 nights. Oh, and now that Paimon has said that, you know who comes to mind? Bingo! If she was here, she'd probably be making some... Unfortunately, she's super busy right now and may not have time for...
Dear experts, we have another guest who would like to consult you.
But you saw how we answered all the questions just now. We're not...
Ah, but this guest is rather...
My question is, why didn't you immediately tell me about such an interesting place? Huh? Nahida, how did you get here? Interesting events like a moment of dreams don't happen every day after all. No matter how busy things are, I'd still set aside some time to check it out. Anyway, I really didn't expect to meet you here.
Oh, right! If there's anyone that understands dreams, it's you! You should be able to help us answer.
You're not wrong. Alright, they can ask me anything. The more interesting, the better. Huh? What's wrong? You were all so excited a minute ago. Why the sudden hesitation? Even so, it's not like I look super intimidating or anything, right? And in terms of reputation and renown, you've also done many great things in Sumeru, yet they didn't even flinch at you. Alas, the interesting questions have all vanished in an instant. It appears I'm the one spoiling.
That's not true, Nahida.
I don't want to get in the way of the original purpose of a moment of dreams, which is to let people gather here and freely share their marvelous dreams. Now the atmosphere here is like water poured into a container. The water is more secure and settled, but it has lost its free-flowing nature from the river. I just want it to be another drop in the water, not the cold and restrictive container.
She's sulking. Hey! It's alright, everyone! No need to be shy. The Dendro Archon is really nice, so please...
All right. I'll give it a try.
Oh, it's the slime guy.
Hey, drop the nicknames, would you? Besides, I don't want to become a slime anymore. Maybe a finch or fish.
I see. So you want to become a small animal in your dreams, right?
I guess I just want to experience something different. My everyday life, the sky is right above me and the ocean just over the horizon.
So you want to experience something new in your dreams? Sorry. I'm getting a little confused.
Because if I don't work, I won't have any mora. Sure, I don't want to be out hammering nails and cutting wood every day, but I have aging parents and young children to take care of. By the time this all dawned on me, I realized that my life has already been filled to the brim by trifling matters, and...
But if that's the case, then even if you became a flying bird or swimming fish, the reason is you've already been caged. It doesn't matter what...
Really? That sounds pretty terrible.
I don't know everything that you're going through.
Huh? Replacing my...
That's right. Having worked for such a long time, you...
Well, of course. A good hammer needs to be heavy enough to drive the nail in with just a couple Come to think of it, I haven't replaced my current hammer in quite some time.
You should replace it. Then decorate the handle with something you like. Maybe some ornaments, fur, or hard leather wrapping. Then, write the names of your children on it.
That makes sense. I think it'd give me a good boost of energy at work.
A new sense of adventure often begins with the little things in life. You don't need to become a bird in the air or a fish in the sea. You only need to do your best in life.
Yes. Yes, I get it now. I'll go and pick out a new hammer right away. No, I should make one of my own. Thank you, Great Dendro Archon.
That's our Nahida. Only you would know how to get right to the heart of the problem.
Actually, I didn't really understand the... Huh? I gave him that advice because I once saw a worker doing the same thing. After a moment, he'd start to smile. It really surprised me at the time. My guess is that the names on the handle were of important people to him. After observation, I know this kind of behavior motivates people. But why is that? Is it because of excitement, anticipation, or helplessness? I really don't know.
Oh, Paimon gets what you mean. Huh. Paimon had no idea it takes...
That's why I was a bit nervous just now.
But luckily, seeing his happy face in the end reassured me that I didn't say anything wrong. Don't mind me, though. This is just my way of learning.
Hey, don't forget about Paimon! Everyone knows that Paimon's also super skilled at reading.
Thanks, you two. That makes me feel a lot better. Let's move on to...
I already asked the experts my question earlier. What should I do if I want to see my deceased wife in my dreams?
Longing for the deceased. Even if you keep reliving those beautiful memories, it'll only highlight the emptiness in your... If your wife were still alive, she certainly wouldn't want to see you like this, would she?
No, I suppose not. But our time together in my dreams, I don't know. Maybe it's because I miss her too much. But it's really as if she had come back to... She even remembers each and every dream. After I wake up and then continue dreaming again later, we can...
That's really amazing. Statistically speaking, continue...
It's almost as if my wife has obtained a second life in my dreams. But the more vivid she appears...
Maybe all of this is rooted in your deep longing for her. Were there any unresolved matters or regrets between the two of you?
I don't know. I suppose I really felt like I was ready to move on. I wouldn't be so hesitant now if it weren't for these hyper-realistic...
Huh. You know, they say that...
But dreams are, and will forever be, just dreams. We are people. It's not good to be overly obsessed with dreams. All it'll do is fill up your mind and eat away at your thoughts.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm also a little disappointed in myself. I still need to take care of our child. And it's probably not good to let her see me and... Anyway, thanks for...
I'm a little worried about him. I hope he can find a way. I think I can handle things from here. You don't need to stay here if you find it boring.
Are you feeling any better now?
Yes. I think the Dendro Archon made a really good point. Now that I think about it, my wife and I always meet at a familiar place in my dream. I know where that place exists in reality, but it's a bit far. But at the same time, I feel as if I should go and have a look anyway. Otherwise, I'll keep on feeling like everything is covered in a haze. Like I'm only half awake. Once I can stop dreaming about that place, I'll probably be able to get my life back together. Actually, you two are adventurers, right? If it's okay with you, could you...
Yeah, it might also be a good chance for us to unwind. Even if you can't see your wife there, taking in some...
Yeah, I hope...
All right, go ahead and get yourself ready then.
Are you headed off to some interesting place without telling?
Huh? Wait, aren't you supposed to be answering questions?
I just finished, and I really got a lot out of it. Anyway, it looks like you're going somewhere.
Oh, there's no need to trouble you, great Dendro Archon. I imagine you must have many other important things to deal with.
No need to stand on ceremony. Besides, I wouldn't have asked to come along if I didn't have a good reason. I wanted to use this opportunity to discuss with you some things that are puzzling me.
Huh. I didn't know the great Dendro Archon could become puzzled too.
I'm not all that different from...
Huh. Do adventurers often go to places like... Huh. I guess...
So, this is where you all...
Yes, for the most part. When I saw her in my dreams, we didn't... I'd tell her about our daughter, Haidar, and she would also reminisce about the past with me. It feels like no matter how long we may chat...
Sometimes, it's the little things in life that matter the most.
This is the part I'm a little puzzled about. I am very familiar with dreams, and normally, they lack logic and continuity. But you said she could remember what you had told her before.
That's right. She always listened to me carefully in real life. She always surprises me with some details from our lives in the real world. The fact that she can remember such things...
Whoa, that's pretty weird.
However, the problem is that his dreams have too much structure and... For example, a loud noise outside your window in the real world. Another example. But the appearance of your wife seems unusually stable.
I don't understand it either. But I have no reason to suspect or reject...
But I still want to figure out the how and the why. Let's go. Just think of it as a nice little...
Well, he really wasn't kidding. This place definitely isn't safe.
No matter. We'll just finish them quickly.
Huh? Are you going to fight too?
Of course. This is all part of our little trip. Commit it to memory.
Your toast! Boba!
Disappear! Here!
The scenery here is amazing! It also seems like a Paimon wouldn't mind spending some time here every day.
I've yet to see anything strange about this place. I do not plan to deny the power of longing. Such an intense...
His wife must be a really amazing... Huh? Wait, where'd he go?
Oh, so you are waiting for me here? Well, guess what? When the Dendro Archon said she wanted to come with me, I'll bring Haidar once I'm more familiar with the way...
Huh? What? There's nobody there.
Wait, Minar. Don't go that way.
Uh-oh, he's gonna fall! Catch him!
Luckily he didn't fall. But what was all the...
He's in a dream now. What he said just now...
Oh, so he fell asleep.
I find it a little strange as well.
Huh? Minar. Where's Minar?
Oh, good! You're finally awake!
What happened? Huh? Oh, right. The moment I reached the summit, I saw my wife, Minar, sitting there. After I introduced her to you, she seemed a little flustered and started walking away, and then she seemed to suddenly disappear. When I realized something wasn't right...
That sounds pretty wild. Maybe you...
I don't think so.
Maybe we've affected the Leha's subconscious. Anyway, all that...
I think I know what happened now.
Let's head back now. Don't come back to this...
Oh...
Nahida, what's on your mind?
We still don't have enough evidence to work off.
Oh, right! Come to think of it...
Right. And not only at a moment of dream, we need to understand what's happening and the rate of its development.
Then there's no time to lose. Let's head back. Stop standing there, Ilman. Let's go.
You're back already!
We have an emergency on our hands.
What? Alright, if that's... But could you at least tell me what happened? I see. I know. Don't worry. I'll be sure to notify all the event participants, and using the event registration list, I should...
Thank you.
Let me confirm if all of today's participants... Acto has already left. It seemed that he was on his way to... Has anyone seen Katya? Has she...
Oh, I think she already left.
Oh no. Did she want to look for the...
Can you tell us where she went?
Yes, she did briefly.
Alright, thank you. We'll go look for her. Please help us tell the others not to do anything.
Sure thing.
She's sitting over there, and surrounded by monsters!
Come on, let's rescue her! This might hurt a little.
Nice and spiked!
Lament! Worthless! Care! Worthless! Care! Worthless!
Boba, get them!
Useless! Boring!
She seems to be in the same condition as Ilman earlier.
Yes, but luckily she hasn't been injured or jolted awake yet.
See you tomorrow, Professor Aisha. Huh? What? Why dreaming? But, oh, I see. It was all just a dream.
Huh? What's...
Nearly 20 years, and it's...
Does it have something to do with your dream? Please, tell us what you mean.
Sorry. I'm still feeling a little... Alright. Where to start? Right. This plant. So, Professor Aisha gave me this plant just before she left. She was a good friend of my parents, and my first real tutor. She was also an outstanding Amorta researcher. In addition to her extraordinary academic talents, she was also skilled in
Oh, so you mean...
Yes. When I was about 10 years old, I grabbed hold of her and wouldn't let go. She hugged me, and we cried for some time until I fell asleep. She still decided to leave. She claimed that investigating the abyss could help more ordinary. She had obtained some important evidence during...
Guess ad astra abyssas.
She left a seed in the letter. She said she looked forward to seeing me all but strangely, I even went to ask the Amorta researcher.
May I have a look at...
Of course. I was...
Let me see.
Huh? Wait. She looks a little unwell. What's wrong, Nahida? You can't tell what's wrong with the plant?
No, I immediately This plant is not known to the academic world. Judging by its features, I can tell from the moment it sprouted.
It can't...
It means that this Professor Aisha she keeps mentioning might have foreseen. From my experience observing people, she would undoubtedly regard, when forced to confront such brutal truths, people may... I know she has to face the truth, but...
Yeah, that's a trick.
But wouldn't that mean I'm just pushing it all?
It's all right. There are all kinds of people, and the examples you observed are just the most extreme case.
Okay.
Let's go back and tell her.
Huh? It'll never... But... How's that possible? If... Are you saying...
But she meant well. So, yeah. Her love...
I guess she had hoped that...
I see. The dreams are so beautiful. I really thought she had come back.
These dreams may not be as pure... Yes. So with that in mind...
I see. Thank you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have anything left to remember her by.
Thanks, Traveler in Paimon. She seems to have... I saw her waver the moment you mentioned love. It was almost like a gentle rain, arriving...
It's because people have something...
Empathy?
By the way, you said there may be some...
Yes. What's common between... And now, they get to meet the people they cherish. Instead of interpreting it as a result of their longing, I have to consider a more...
Yeah, they're just causing these people to...
This is exactly what we need to investigate. Anyway, I have a bad feeling about all this. We're back. How's everything here?
I am so sorry, Great Dendro Archon. We're still... Because of your warning, we've brought dreamers, but some of them have already fallen asleep. A moment of dreams is just a small interest.
Just as I expected.
It's the Dendro Archon. She's back. What happened? Why have we been...
Many of you here have been experiencing, but I'm sorry to tell you that based on our before we learn the truth, please don't try to recreate the scene.
Huh? But... I don't think it's a big deal. Aren't we just dreaming?
We've already met 2 people who ran off to the countryside alone.
That's right! These aren't just dreams.
Alright, I get...
So does that mean once we have some conclusive results from the
Yeah, I still want to visit my sister in my dream. I'm sorry if what I'm about to say sounds a little... We had a discussion with the folks who just arrived here. They all seemed as if they were alive again, which...
Yes, that's also what we've observed and...
So if the results of this investigation would mean an end... All of us understand the danger, but... Perhaps... I don't think everyone will be on board with the plan to abandon these dreams before the conclusion of the investigation.
We've never had such a difficult situation.
So they still want to return to their dreams despite no...
That's right. Compared with these sweet and beautiful the more time we waste, the more people will ignore our warnings and return to their alluring dreams.
So, what should we do?
Seems we have to go into a dream and find out the... Pedrush, is there...
Let me think.
Good. Please take us...
This lady refused to heed our warnings and fell asleep here a little earlier.
She's only asleep.
Do we also need to...
Don't worry about that. Now, don't be nervous. Just close your eyes. You slowly wash over the shore.
What's wrong, Traveler? You look a little disoriented. Oh, okay. Just remember that Paimon is always here for you. Anyway, seems like we've made it into the dream.
I thought we would arrive at some familiar scene, but we seem to have...
Whoa! So many giant plants! Even in this...
Theoretically, we should have gone straight into Debi's dream. Things do seem to have gone a bit sideways here. Anyway, let's see if we can find any leads. Commit it to memory.
You're toast! Nice and spicy!
Boring! Useless!
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Dodge this! Freeze!
Disappear! Worthless! Worthless!
Huh? door? Wonder where it could lead. Well, it's not like we have any other way to go now. Let's go in and have a look. Hey, this place looks familiar. Isn't it Busca Cafe? Oh, Paimon sees Debi. She's right over there. Looks like we've come to the right place.
These alluring dreams often portray a scene from real life, which concurs with our previous findings.
Really? But what about that space we were in just now? You can't mean this is another collective dream?
Yes. Given that so many people have been experiencing these beautiful dreams, compared to an interconnected dream, independent, individual dreams would be much harder to manage and
Paimon gets it now. Well, let's go talk with Debi. Oh, but there are some other people next to her.
If this space is exclusive to Debi's dream, then the others beside her... Anyway, we should confirm that first.
Huh. How do we do that?
Just leave it to me.
The coffee here still tastes the same as ever. You two have traveled all around Tibet. Surely you've all tasted better coffee than...
I suppose so, but no matter how good things may be elsewhere, nothing beats...
That's right. It's hard to change your tastes.
Anyway, here's to your return home. Well...
Hey!
Huh. How could they be? Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Huh? She sounds a little... I've confirmed that this dream belongs only to Debi, because I'm unable to hear the thoughts of the other two people with her.
So, this is the power of the Dendro Arc. Paimon had better watch her thoughts from now on.
Don't worry. I don't often use my powers like this. It's rather impulsive. Alright. I need to get myself ready. It won't be easy to break...
The Great Dendro Archon! What brings you...
I'm sorry to interrupt your celebration, but... Have you noticed that what's happening here doesn't quite match up with your memories?
I don't quite understand. Great Dendro Archon.
I get it! The Dendro Archon is trying to say that it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Hey, how about a cup of coffee for all of you? My treat. We just returned from a fruitful...
Memories. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity?
Think carefully. You of all people should know what really happened. Are you sure that meeting here and chatting the day away like this isn't just a product?
Yes. The reports from the Steambird were true. And I never heard from Basima and Gaspar again.
Hey, come on now. What are you talking?
Yeah, trust your memories. Nothing you see here is...
I get it now. This is a dream, but since it's my dream, it doesn't matter if this is real or not. I enjoy the way things are. These friends mean the world to me. Nobody else can understand. There's nothing wrong with continuing this dream.
I'm worried that if you were to continue dreaming like this, the lines between these dreams will always give you what you want, while reality remains full of pain and difficult situations.
Don't worry. I still have control. I won't...
Are you sure?
Hey, how about we put all this troublesome stuff aside and get back to our coffee and snacks, Whether it's just a dream or real life, you should be...
You can't just brush brush off something like this? We don't even know how you people got here, or where you even... Sorry. Paimon didn't mean to upset...
No, it's all right. I understand.
It seems that for now, this place is still relative, but I wonder if there's any way to go deeper into the dream.
Huh. Now that you mention it, I once heard a I'm not interested in checking it out at the moment, but maybe...
Okay. Thanks for... Just as I expected. We're only on the surface of...
Wait a second. We were just up there. No, down there? Did we go up or down?
Don't panic. This is how dreams work. We've left Debi's dream, but the dream is still continuing onward. I'm not sure. This dream has the ability to create imaginary people, which is why people are so unwilling to...
If it weren't for what we just saw, Paimon might still find that a bit hard to believe.
I have a guess. If these dreams are connected, then the fact that Debi was able to realize that she was dreaming means that she is not very deep in the dream yet. But the space we're in has been turned upside down. Do you remember the characteristics of dreams that I mentioned?
Oh, right! Dreams are chaotic.
That's right. It's possible that we're heading deeper into this dream now. And the deeper we go...
Right! So the answers might be waiting for us deeper in the dream!
Yes, and we should get ready for whatever we may...
It looks like we may need to put something inside there. Bro!
The Temple of Wisdom!
Will be frozen in time. Cool it! Yes, and it appears again as soon as the rain stops. It's less like a flower, and more like a dendro slime that's trying to keep out of sight.
Here we go again with Nahida's analogies.
Third.
Are we back up here again? Wait. Paimon's confused. Are we up here or down there? Good thing we didn't fall.
Yes, we did. We just fell upwards.
That's not helping, Nahida. Paimon has no clue what's going on anymore. Wait, weren't we already here a little earlier?
This is probably Ilman's dream.
Huh? Why would he start dreaming again?
Yes, but it seems that the danger isn't enough to stop him.
Based on what we've learned so far, he must be sleeping more deeply for his dreams to appear here.
But fortunately, he already knows us from before, so hopefully we'll be able to wake him up.
Ilman!
Oh, it's you! Incredible! I didn't...
Did you say dream? Wait, so you know this is...
Of course! Such good things. Here, let me introduce everyone. This is Minar.
Hello. It's a great honor to meet the...
Whoa, Dad! You know the dendro... And what's this? No, it's Paimon, not... Anyway, now's not the time for that!
You're right.
Oh, right! We didn't see him in a moment of dreams earlier.
Sorry. I just had to make sure that Haidar could get a chance to... I had gotten pretty familiar with the hike, so I brought Haidar with me. I'm just glad we didn't meet...
Yes, I'm glad too. I didn't expect her to grow up. It must have been very hard for him. I regret not being able to fulfill my...
No, don't talk like that. Let's leave all that unhappy stuff behind.
What should we do now?
You can... I'm sorry, but I should tell you that your dream, like the last time we met, we are still investigating this dream.
So you mean there's something
Ilman, what's going on?
It seems the reunion of our...
Huh? Maybe, but no, like...
Oh, no, Mom, you can't leave.
I'm afraid I don't quite understand what's going on. Don't worry, Haidar. Mom's not going anywhere.
Minar doesn't understand any of this. I'm fully aware that this is a dream, so that's why I've never Never mind. I mean, I don't get any of the complicated stuff. But regardless of whether this dream...
Yes.
Then please, let us enjoy, regardless of whatever caused this dream to come to pass. But does this dream...
I'm afraid so.
Okay. Please, come this way. You can go even... I have heard that the further down you go, the more pleasant the dreams become. The answer you're looking for may also be found...
Thank you for helping us.
You're welcome. It's not like I have any say in the matter. I'll be right behind you. I should Otherwise, my daughter might be mad at her mother after...
We're not doing something bad, are we, Nahida?
That depends on how you define good and bad.
It's the same place again. This place is almost like a flight of stairs that connects all the dreams together.
But they appear to be getting more and more aggressive. Regular stairs wouldn't try to attack us.
Right. Something seems to be off about our theory. Ilman is clearly aware that he's dreaming, and he's enjoying it. Rather than dreaming on a deeper level, he almost seemed more awake.
I believe we're on the right track, but we just need another explanation. It's not that the dreams are getting deeper, it's the owner's attachment to the dreams that's getting stronger. But you would never mistake dreams for real life, right?
Sometimes, Paimon almost wishes her dreams could be real, but it's just a quick thought. It's not long before Paimon's thinking about other things.
Like, listen, we're real beings living in the real world, and that's where our focus should be. This also explains the insubstantiality of our dreams. No matter what they may become, we don't really care. But if we decide to abandon reality and embrace our dreams, then our dreams will become far more
Oh, wait! Paimon's starting to get it now!
Your mind will begin to build the dream far more attentively, which in turn will make it feel more real. Do you remember how the Akasha can turn dreams into jnana energy? Constructing a realistic dream consumes a similar energy.
Does that mean there's a host of these dreams here like Milu during the Sub-Zero's festival? If we wake that person up, this collective dream will end, right?
Mm-hmm, most likely. But the collective dream in Sumeru City was created by the Akasha, and now the Akasha has been turned off. This has nothing to do with the Aranara, and humans are not capable of creating a collective dream, which means...
Huh? So, did someone manage to restart the Akasha?
That's impossible. But they are probably a scholar of the academia who had a close connection with the... Even so, how did they manage to do it? And how did they choose the host? Yeah, we haven't gotten to the end yet. Once we know their motive, all the questions will resolve themselves.
Oh, so sorry.
The water that used to be here has turned into rain.
Then let's get through here before the water level rises.
We finally made it! The destination is right ahead! Wow, a new place! Well, it's just new to Paimon in this dream.
This should be the final destination.
Huh? Really? Yeah, these are just ordinary city streets.
I have powers related to dreams, so it's usually easy for me to tell who's dreaming and who's created by dreams. I guess only those who have thoroughly accepted this dream will be able to come here.
There are so many people here. How can we find the host?
Don't worry, I have a way. Everyone hold hands!
Anissa's always so calm. I wish I were the same.
He's just in an ordinary dream, so it shouldn't be him. Hey!
Shadia has such good taste. I can never go wrong with her opinion.
No, it doesn't seem to be her. I see everything! Hey!
Sometimes I wish Rakesh could be more assertive, but I guess I'm also happy enough with the way things are.
No, it's not her, unfortunately. I see everything!
Who doesn't want a dream to last forever?
He's just entered the dream recently. It's definitely not him. However... Everyone hold hands!
You know, I've heard that plants grow better if you play music for them. And on that note, it's been a while since I last heard you play.
Sorry, I've been a little busy these last couple days. Oh, the Dendro Archon. What a pleasant surprise.
Oh, welcome, Great Dendro Archon. I'm Amira. I run the flower shop here. And this is my husband, Moses.
Yes, how may we help you?
You already know all about me. There's no need for all the pleasant. Perhaps I should call you the dream's owner?
As expected of the Dendro. I'm sorry, Amira. It seems my research has attracted the Dendro Archon's attention. Why don't you go back to the flower shop? I'll come help you a little later.
Okay, of course, dear. I'll see you later.
It appears that I was too naive to think I could deceive the Dendro Archon in person like this. To avoid looking like too much of a fool, allow me to ask the first question. How well would you say you understand this dream?
This dream was built by the Akasha, and it has the power to create imaginary people who no longer... As for you, you found a unique way to become the owner of this dream. Going so far as to have even given up the ability.
Given up? The ability
to... Impressive! You Please, tell me how you were able to arrive at such a conclusion. In return,
It's simple. Apart from you, this space only consists of real people who are dreaming and imaginary people who are... Although you are here and appear no different from the others, how can I wake up a person who's already awake?
Fascinating.
Since you're the fully awake owner of this dream, it can never collapse from you waking up. Theoretically, this should also give you absolute control over this. But even knowing all of that, one question remains.
Isn't the answer right in front of you, great Dendro Archon? It's because I uploaded my entire consciousness into the Akasha when it was still running. Actually, this all started because of an accident. My original goal was not about the Akasha.
No. You were motivated above all to create a hyper-realistic person.
That's right. However, human models are too complicated. Only the Akasha has a jnana energy supply powerful, and the Akasha is truly magnificent. If I siphoned a minuscule amount of its energy, nobody would even using just crude methods, I was still able to train a failure. I named my first work Amira.
Huh? You mean the girl we just saw?
She and I entered the academia on the same day. Starting with admission procedures, we bumped into, and because of that one day, we eventually went on to fall in love. Our rhythm was always in step. I felt like we were two separate. However, Elazar later took her from me. Yes, I need more training samples to perfect I found their details in the Akasha's database. Using the pretext of testing for mental health disorders, this way I could connect them to a network, and Amira could feel their yearning. To improve my efficiency and allow myself to focus on nothing but my research.
So, technically speaking...
Yes, because the Akasha was suddenly turned off, I lost all of my jnana energy. I became imprisoned in the very network I had constructed. At first, I panicked. But, after coming to grips with the situation...
That means everyone in the network is
That's all there really is to it. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. I provide a beautiful dream, and in return, they can wake up any time they wish. People need to sleep anyway, so why not?
I agree. This is the home we spent a great deal of effort on to build for ourselves.
Yeah, she's right. We're staying here of our own free will.
I don't understand this at all, but I just want to spend...
Thank you, dear. Great Dendro Archon.
You don't need to gather around here. The Great Dendro Archon is nothing if...
Uh-oh. Now he's playing dirty.
It seems like I won't need you to answer my... You're willing to tell me all your secrets because you have no... If you use real people as your weapon and turn them against their...
They just want to be with the people they cherish. I don't think there's anything wrong with me providing them with that opportunity. They don't wish to eternally part with their spouses and friends. What's so... If you understood humans a little better, or had also experienced firsthand the absolute devastation of loss, then perhaps you wouldn't be so cold towards us.
If you had used your talents and determination for a just cause, unfortunately, you've committed one of the 6 cardinal sins. You equated people's feelings with cold jnana energy. You lured them into these dreams, and even now, remain
Pain? Luring? Those kinds of things haven't existed here from the moment this world was created.
She's right here. This is Ilman's child, Haidar.
Huh? My daughter? What's wrong with her?
This dream relies on a set network, which means that only... Carefully think back and read...
I... secretly went back to the mountainside. You mean... she isn't...
No, because unlike you, she can't enter this dream. The moment you came into this dream, it created a Haidar. So, tell me...
She's still out there on the mountainside.
That's right. And she must have been terrified to see her. Not to mention the monsters in that...
If Haidar's still out there, then...
What are you talking about, Dad?
I must wake up right now. I can't leave her there.
Oh.
It seems the others have also remembered some. People try to avoid pain and stay in their perceived bubbles of safety. However, why are there still so many people striving? It's because people don't only live, they have families, loved ones, friends, and communities. But in this dream, you showed them only the most comfortable and soothing things. It's all just a well-devised scam.
It seems like I've stayed in the dream for too long.
I still have so many things I haven't done.
Huh. I thought gods didn't understand. I didn't expect you to arrive at the answer through sheer power of observation. If you wanted to spend a little time in the waking world, go right ahead. In any case, I wanted to spend some time alone with Amira. As long as this dream continues to exist, humans aren't as strong as you think. And even if you're a god, it's time to purge all the extraneous...
Please, get out of here and find somewhere safe.
I am the master of this dream. I can create endless waves of monsters with the snap of a finger. Don't worry, they'll wake up before they get hurt. Amira doesn't like to see others in pain. If you know what's good for you, leave now!
Disappear! Worthless! Here! Prepare to die, fool! Useless!
You haven't won just yet. This dream is mine! If I go into hiding here, not even an Archon can ever find me. And as long as people yearn for happiness, they will return here and rebuild this paradise!
Hey, stop! What's that? The dream is spiraling out of control and is collapsing now.
Oh no. Amira! 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 Amira, are you alright?
I don't feel well.
No, no, no! Please, no!
Get away from there! Don't ruin my flowers!
Boring! Evil conquering! Here! Worthless! Worthless! Here!
Just shut up! Just decide for yourself.
Glad that's over. But what happened just now?
He's not very proficient in using the Akasha's technology, and he spent a lot of Jnana energy creating monsters. Now Now all the people he created also turned into monsters. It's terrible, even for a dream.
Even Paimon's freaked out. Paimon can't imagine what they're going through.
The good news is that the chaos seems to have subsided. Now we only need to wake up the people here and let them return to their real lives.
Amira. My dear Amira. They're all gone. It was just a big dream after all. I couldn't change my fate, and my knowledge turned out to be useless.
Do you still think this is our fault?
I don't care about that anymore. The jnana energy used to sustain this dream has all been transformed into monsters. This dream will soon collapse in my conscience. Let me disappear with Amira. I'd rather turn into dust than to ever wake up again.
It seems that everything that's happened is too much for him. He's lost all hope.
I think seeing Amira turn into a monster was punishment enough for him. After comprehending the hollowness of the unreal, it's time to revisit the meaning of existence.
Existence? I'm different from the others. I've long given up.
Using my knowledge of the Akasha, I have a way to extract your consciousness from here. The Academia has probably kept your body, so you should be able to wake up soon.
No need. Just let me disappear. Reality...
This isn't compassion. I won't let you escape your punishment by simply disappearing. As for your life after that, it will be up to you how you want to exist. Alright, Traveler and Paimon. We can finally wrap up this whole thing.
Uh-huh. What's wrong, Nahida?
Oh, nothing. Let's tell the people here to gather at a moment of dreams after they wake up.
Oh, great! You're awake! Everybody has started to wake up, and we've heard similar reports from around the city as well. From the looks of it, you were able to successfully resolve the...
Yes, though it took us a good deal of effort. There will be many people gathering here shortly, so please do your best to maintain... I need to go to the Academia with them now, but we'll be back...
Are we going to ask about that scholar?
Yes, but it may take some time for him to wake up after his consciousness returns to his body. We can leave the rest to the mantra.
It's the great Dendro Archon. How can I help you?
I would like to check the registration records of a Kasharawar scholar. He should be in an unconscious...
Okay, just a moment. Sorry to keep you waiting, Dendro Archon. We have confirmed that there's a scholar named Beinuni who's been unconscious for a... He hasn't regained consciousness yet, and is still receiving...
Huh? Isn't his name... Mosaic?
I guess he didn't want to be recognized or bothered by anyone. Please, give the knowledge stored in this to the mantra and ask them to import it into Beinuni's brain.
Understood. But for safety reasons...
It's simple. This contains his consciousness. It's long been trapped inside of a dream. He's committed an act that affected the safety of Sumeru. After he wakes up...
I see. I'll take care of this right away. Thank you, great Dendro Archon.
No problem. Alright. Everyone should have gathered at a moment of dreams by now.
quiet and just listen in. I wonder what she's going to say.
Hello, all of you who have just woken up. I'm sorry for interrupting your beautiful dreams. I may have acted a little cold when handling things in the dream. Dreams have amazing power. They inspire us to remain resolute in the face of adversity and help those with aspirations. But dreams also have the potential to exploit people, confuse the senses, and distort the truth. Unfortunately, you are all chosen as prey for an... As I've said before, I am still learning and cannot fully empathize with the pain of all the loss you've experienced. But just take a good look around you, and you'll see many other people who have had similar experience. You should be proud that you've been able to gather here and look toward the future together. The path of life is long, and it's hard for us to see the destination. This leads us to ask a lot of difficult questions. What's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of my existence? Why do I keep it? Of course, the most comfortable choice is to stop progressing. Whenever you have such thoughts, just look at the people and things around you. Some people work hard all day so that their families can have a hot meal on the table. Some people travel all over the world in order to create art that resonates. Some venture in search of the world's secrets to prevent rapidly approaching, yet still unknown. Life is not just about yourself. Each and every one of your actions... Look, friends and family will remember. Therefore, many people will strive forward to... Once you begin your journey on that same difficult yet rewarding path, you'll come to know the answers to those big existential questions. But if you were to believe that life is nothing but an empty, ephemeral dream, you're free to choose how you want to live your lives. But as your arc... In the end, it's up to you whether you want to embrace a beautiful dream.
Nahida said she wanted to speak with us alone. It seems like she went to the plaza in front of the academia. You're amazing, Nahida! Even Paimon was nearly won over by that scholar in that dream.
Well, he's very good at manipulating the weaknesses of human nature. That dream was incredibly beautiful and enticing. But as long as he can still wake up, he can still... Huh? What makes you say that?
Right! You said that you didn't understand human feelings, but we saw how considerate you were with all these people. Your speech just now really connected with everyone.
Thank you. I've heard a lot. You can't say that the victims of the dream really did anything wrong. That's why I could understand them when they tried to resist. But all of my understanding and stirred feelings probably... I don't think this 1% can be seen as an
You're too hard on yourself, that's for sure.
Alright. I suppose I've learned that emotions are nothing like knowledge. And Benuni, or Moses, said that I had never personally felt the moment I entered the dream. I felt like I was wrapped in a blanket of warm feet. It was so warm that it felt like I had... But when I opened my eyes, the feeling was gone without it. If I have to make an analogy for it, I would say I can no longer... But now that I've experienced this dream, I think it's enough that I can tell I was once supported by that warmth, and its existence. If I dwell too much on its exact nature, I gave a speech to inspire my people. So if I...
Hey, what's with that serious look?
You keep looking like there's something you want to say. Is there an... Okay. Since we just woke up, let's stretch a little bit. A new day is about to begin.